Cats aren't impressed by confidence or status. If your energy is fake, they walk away. And that's why men who truly love cats often share 5 traits that stand out from the crowd. This isn't about being a cat guy. It's about what cats quietly demand from the humans they trust. You can't impress a cat with confidence. You can't control it with status. And if your energy is fake, it leaves. So the men who genuinely love cats, not just tolerate them, tend to share a specific kind of emotional wiring, because bonding with a creature that refuses ownership forces you to learn patience, space, and self-control. You start noticing the small signals. You stop chasing validation. You become consistent instead of performative. In this video, I'll break down 5 rare traits you'll notice in those men. And yes, stay to the end. Trait number 5 is the one people joke about, but it quietly predicts who's safe to love. Number 1. Comfortable being alone. Most people think they're fine being alone until the room gets quiet and there's nothing left to distract them. That's when they reach for stimulation, music, social media, a background video, even a text they don't really mean just to feel a quick hit of connection. But men who genuinely love cats tend to experience solitude differently. To them, being alone feels peaceful instead of painful because they don't confuse silence with rejection. And cats pick up on that immediately. Cats don't reward performance, and they don't stay for charisma. They respond to emotional steadiness. If someone is restless, needy, or silently demanding attention, a cat feels the pressure and keeps its distance. But when someone can sit calmly without trying to force a moment, without chasing a reaction, the entire energy of the room softens. The cat relaxes. It comes closer on its own terms. You'll notice it in small moments. When you're busy and go quiet for a few hours, they don't flood your phone like they're knocking on a door that has to open. They give you room. At home, it's the same. The cat is curled up on the couch, half asleep against a hoodie, and they don't poke it to get a cute moment. They understand closeness doesn't come from pressure. It comes from safety. Number 2. They read people extremely well. Some people only hear words. Others catch what's underneath them, the forced smile, the half-second pause, the tension behind "I'm fine." Most men are trained to ignore those signals and stay on the surface, because noticing emotion gets labeled as too sensitive. But men who bond deeply with cats often develop the opposite habit. They pay attention. Cats communicate almost entirely through body language. The tail isn't just moving, it's signaling irritation or curiosity. The ears aren't just cute, they're telling you whether the cat feels safe. Even a slow blink is a form of trust. If you want a cat to choose you, you can't just act friendlier. You have to notice the subtle cue, then adjust your energy to match it. Over time, that skill transfers into human relationships. These men tend to sense discomfort early, before it turns into an argument. They can tell when someone's laughing but not relaxed, when a yeah actually means no, and when silence is asking for patience instead of pressure. It's not mind reading, it's pattern recognition built through thousands of small moments with an animal that never lies with words. And you'll see it in real life. You lower your voice, and they lower theirs. Your smile gets thinner, and they stop teasing without making a scene. They don't ask, "What's wrong?" like an interrogation. They change the atmosphere first, then you feel safe enough to talk. Number 3, they understand trust takes time. You can't force a cat to trust you. The harder you push, the faster it backs away. So most people do what they've been taught to do everywhere else in life. Try harder, talk more, chase closeness, speed run intimacy. But with a cat, that strategy fails immediately. Because cats treat pressure like danger. Men who genuinely love cats learn a different rule. Trust isn't something you take, it's something you earn. They move slowly. They respect space without turning it into distance. They stay consistent without demanding a reward. And that consistency becomes emotional safety, quiet, predictable, non-threatening. This is why they often carry the same pacing into human relationships. They don't rush someone's feelings just to calm their own anxiety. They don't pressure connection as proof. They create an environment where people can relax first and open up second. You'll recognize it in the way they show up. They don't ask for your heart's password on the first date. They don't make you prove you care. They show up the same way twice, 3 times, 10 times, until your body stops bracing. Quick question for you. Have you ever met someone who made you feel safe without trying to impress you? If yes, comment safe and tell me which trait you've seen most so far. 1, 2, or 3. Number 4. They don't need to perform toughness. A lot of men learn the same survival habit early. Don't look like you need anyone. Don't look like you feel too much. Keep your face controlled. Keep your voice flat. Because the moment you look tender, someone will call you weak, or worse, someone will use it. But men who truly love cats tend to step out of that performance. Not because they're soft, but because cats punish fake strength. Cats don't care about status, volume, or dominance. They care about whether your presence feels safe. If your energy is forced, they leave. If you're calm, they stay. So these men get comfortable showing gentleness without apologizing for it. They'll speak softly. They'll notice shifts in mood. They'll adjust their touch. They'll care for something small in a way that's steady, not theatrical. And here's the emotional twist. That tenderness isn't the opposite of strength. It's proof that they're not scared of being seen. You can spot it in real life. They don't joke their way out of serious moments. They don't act cold when they're actually hurt. If you're overwhelmed, they won't demand an explanation right away. They'll lower the noise first, then ask one simple question. And around a cat, they don't chase affection like a trophy. They let the cat come when it's ready. That kind of grounded masculinity is rare, and it doesn't just make cats trust them. It makes people feel safe enough to stop performing too. Number 5. They're harder to manipulate. This is the trait people joke about the most, but it's the one that quietly predicts everything. Men who truly love cats are often harder to manipulate, not because they're suspicious, but because they don't run on approval. Cats train you out of that. A cat doesn't clap when you try. It doesn't reward you for being impressive. It doesn't love you more because you performed the right version of yourself. If your energy is off, it leaves. If you're calm and consistent, it stays. So, over time, these men stop chasing the little dopamine deals most people live on. They don't need constant reassurance to feel secure. They don't get pulled by guilt the moment someone withdraws. They don't panic and over-explain to win someone back. Instead, they watch patterns. They listen to what people do, not what they promise. And you can see it in real life. If someone uses silence as punishment, they don't beg. If someone tries to make them jealous, they don't bite. If someone demands, "prove you care," they don't perform. They respond with something steady and clear. "Tell me what you need," or "I'm here when you're ready to talk." And if the behavior stays unhealthy, they can walk away without collapsing. That's why cats trust them so easily. Cats don't bond with desperation, they bond with stability. And maybe that's the real punchline. The world can keep making jokes about men who love cats, but people who understand themselves rarely feel the need to explain who they are. So when you hear people joke about men who love cats, understand what's really happening. They're not laughing at cats. They're laughing at a kind of man they don't know how to label. Because a man who loves cats is hard to control with ego, hard to bait with status, hard to keep hooked with hot and cold attention. Cats don't reward performance. They don't care about your resume. They don't care how loud you are, how confident you sound, or how perfectly you can play the part. If your energy is forced, they walk away. If you're steady, they stay. And when you live with that kind of honesty long enough, you start carrying it everywhere else. That's why the 5 traits we talked about aren't really cat traits. They're relationship traits. Solitude without panic, awareness without overreacting, patience without pressure, gentleness without apology, stability without needing applause. And the best part is, you can feel it in the smallest moments. When you go quiet, they don't punish you. When you're overwhelmed, they don't demand a perfect explanation. When you're not at your best, they don't make you perform your way back into safety. They don't chase connection like a trophy. They make it safe enough for connection to happen naturally. So if you've ever been with someone who made you feel like you had to earn basic kindness, this is your reminder. Real strength doesn't need you to shrink. Real confidence doesn't need you to beg. And real love doesn't turn silence into a weapon. Now I'm curious. Which trait surprised you the most? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? Drop the number in the comments. And if you want a part 2 on why cats choose certain people over everyone else, Type 8 below. If enough of you do, we'll make it. Because the truth is, cats don't just reveal who's good with animals, they reveal who's safe with hearts.